What's up, guys? This video is going to serve as everything you need to know about your hub. This layout here, the difference in the size of your bag, and so when you're making a decision on which hub to buy, the bag is a consideration. So you've got your Hub 6L right here, which is a 73-inch long bag. Your Hub 4 Double here in the middle will be a 54-inch long bag, and then your Hub 4 XL here on the end will be a 70-inch long bag as well. So think about that when you're buying your hub tent in terms of how you're going to have this on your car, whether it's going to be in the back of a pickup truck, on the roof of your car. These things are going to come into play. What's up, guys? This is Ryan with Free Spirit Recreation. Today we're going to walk you through Hub 4 XL, all the features, how to set it up, all the intricacies, use cases, all of that. So we're going to dive in. So let's dive in first, just unzipping our bag here. Now on the inside, what you'll find is you'll have a rain fly, you'll have your floor, and then all of your stakes and 3 tent poles. So inside of the floor itself, you'll find all your stakes and all your tie-down rope. And make sure to check on the inside of your rain fly, because your light is in there. Now that we have everything out of our hub tent, our poles and our stakes and our rain fly and our floor, let's get the actual tent out of the bag and walk you through the setup. So what you'll notice is one end of your hub will have where all your poles connect to, and the other end is all your materials. I like to pull this out and set up basically where the center of the tent will be. And so all the poles fold outward like so. And so what I'll do is I'll find where I want the center of my tent and start from there. And then now I'll just start pulling out all of the poles. And once you get a wall, so once you see a wall like this with a pull tab in the center, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out. And you can just keep working your way around. Basically at this point, you can start pulling your walls out. And then you'll step through your door here. Once this guy is open, we'll pop open the center just like that. Now I'll walk this around so you guys can see the front door. And just like that, you're 95% of the way there. And packing this thing down, which we'll get to at the end of this, is just as critical as setting it up and how you do it. So we'll walk through that at the end, but let's walk through how this comes out and some of the extra setup pieces, which is your poles here for the front structure. So we went to this single door with a zip up, and in order to create some structure, we've got just 3 poles here that will get set up on the inside. Now on the inside here, you'll see that we've got these little red pull tabs, 2 Velcro loops on each pole, just to help keep that material tight so you don't have material waving around if it gets windy or if it's raining outside. And let's get this last one. We'll get our floor put in. Now the floor is definitely recommended. It's not required, but you will want to put your floor in if you don't, if you want a space to be able to keep things clean, and you don't have a bunch of dirt tracking around. If you just want a nice area to be able to step, so you want to wear your socks, this is a great way to do it. So once you get your floor pulled out, you'll notice that you've got Velcro on one side, and this is going to marry to about 5 to 6 inches off the ground here. You'll see the other Velcro strip. And from here we'll have each corner kind of lined up. These are equal walls in terms of size, so just pick a corner. You'll notice there's a split in this. So the split at the very bottom has a little peg here that will loop into each corner. And then from there, you'll stick your Velcro. And what this does is essentially help secure each side if you're in here walking around, or if you do have a rainstorm, keeps it secured there, and then this Velcro, the way that it overlaps, will keep any water from coming inside of your tent. And then we're just gonna stick all of our Velcro. Next corner here, we've got another loop. Get that peg put through there, secure this corner. Do our overlap. Keep working our way around and get to our front corners here. Now these front corners have these extra poles, which in some cases, if you want, you can either go behind these, if that helps. Really preference. Doesn't have a significance. Just whatever works better for you. For me, I'm gonna stay in front just to keep consistent with the rest. And then under your door here, you'll see the remainder of your Velcro strip. Just go ahead and start sticking all of that. And we'll finish up on our last corner over here. Make sure your corners are pulled all the way out. That's it, you're all set up and you're ready to camp. All right, let's talk about your roll-up tri-layer walls here. So whenever you open your hub, these walls will most likely be rolled down and Velcroed in place. Now, it is much easier to open your hub back up when these walls are rolled up previously. So whenever you set up your hub originally, you'll have to look for your pull tab here, which will come through the tri-layer wall, and you'll just have to be able to pull out your walls like so. So this is essentially what you'll be exposed to whenever you open that hub up. And what I like to do first thing is get your Velcro undone, push in on your pull tab just a bit, and then roll up your walls. Really depends on your use case here, but save yourself some trouble, fold these things up, and then roll the rest of the way. But depending on your use case, if you're in the middle of the summer and you're using this as more of a shade tent or a screen house for your kids, or if you're just setting it up in the early part of the day before you camp and you just want a space to hang out, maybe you want to cook in here, or maybe you just want a place to sit out of the sun. So just you got your 3 tabs to where you roll up, get it out of the way. That's how your walls will roll up. Next, let's talk about where you stake your tent down. So there are 4 corners, but there is an extra stake, which a lot of people might miss. So you've got each corner basically under this skirt right here. You'll notice big loop with a solid piece of metal as your stake point. Don't try to use this on the outside. That is not what that's intended for. So we'll stick to these, like I said, each 4 corner, and then on the front wall here, in the middle, you've got 1 additional. And it might be hiding, but it is here. So make sure to stake that guy down too, again, under that skirt. So you'll have 5 in total on the 4XL. So depending on your terrain, we provide 2 different types of stake. One for the kind that's threaded like so you can dig into hard ground, and then your standard stake just to hammer into place. Make sure to use a rubber mallet. Do not use a traditional hammer on this because you will potentially bend these, scar them up pretty bad. Then we provide some additional guideline if you need extra guideline for anything. And so there's your stakes. All right, now let's talk about the one feature that the 4XL has that the other 2 hubs do not. That is the ability to zip in a car connect. And so you'll notice on the inside of this front facing part, you might have to close your door, there is a zipper. And that will connect seamlessly with our hub car connect. You basically start on one corner, work your way around, you can connect to any SUV, honestly anything that has a structure and you want to be able to pass through from one side to the other. So check that out if you haven't. Car Connect is available on our website now, so if it's of interest, know that it will integrate with this tent seamlessly. All right, now let's talk about the last piece, and that's your rain fly. Now, we get a lot of questions about, can I have my tent without the rain fly while it's raining? The answer is yes, The second part of that answer is you might have a small amount of water come through if it's a really heavy downpour around your stove jack specifically, which we'll look at in a minute. So keep that in mind if you're experiencing light rain or if it's something that's passing over pretty quickly. I wouldn't worry about it. That said, always a recommendation, have your rain fly on just in case. If you're in Colorado like we are, unpredictable storms come out of nowhere, and if it's downpouring and you're having a struggle, throw your rain fly on there, it's not a good look. So you'll notice there's a series of straps here. So again, you'll have 4 corners. Now we did provide a little tag on here that says door. Now, this is not a mistake. This is so that you know where the front is and that you don't mistakenly put this on backwards or catty corner or you name it. So look for that. Know that that is the front and also the inside. We'll get this all laid out. Again, this is our door. So I'm essentially just gonna spread this out. Now the other thing you can look for is there's a zipper on 2 corners of this. So this zipper right here, this will be this corner, and the other zipper is this corner right here. So we do that just so that you can have space to still have your rain fly deployed and be able to walk in and out of your tent without having to crouch and do all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get this thing thrown up here. So once you have your rain fly draped over the front of your tent, what you'll notice is, again, you've got your 2 zippers on each corner. On the side, you'll see strong FSR branding, and on the back side, you will see a Velcro patch or a Velcro section for your stove jack so that you can still cook or have heat in your tent with the rain fly on. So let's walk around and look at how the stake's down. So basically we just have some guideline on each side here. With however you want to attach this, at the bottom of each, there is a loop. And so this loop, again, you'll have extra of these stakes specifically. We're gonna come out, just get it tight, get our stake in, bring it all the way into the ground till we're up here. And that's essentially all you need to do to stake this guy down. And you'll have 6 total on the sides, and then the back side, you'll have 3 more. The front does not want to have one in the middle, so you'll just have these 2 on the front. And then again, I was mentioning the zippers. And so this can be used as either a single, if you just want 1 corner peeled back, or if you want 2, and you want all this open, you can do that. And you can roll this up out of the way, and there is, again, some straps to be able to do just that. So you can do that all the way across so that you save that space and you're set up, you're ready to go. All right, next we'll go into the inside of the tent here. First off, we'll show you how to roll your door out of the way and secure it. So once you unzip your door, what you'll essentially do is fold it over, and we'll just start rolling this guy out of the way. And then we've provided loops. We've got our peg loops here, some elastic bungee there to secure it too. So you got one on the top, and then 1 down here on the bottom. So your door's out of the way, it's secured, you've got a clear entry. If you wanted to, you could roll things in and out of here, but ideally, we'll have this set up. So we'll step inside and talk through some of the interior features. So I showed you guys the light earlier, how it was wrapped up inside of the rain fly. So we'll talk about installing it now and just show you how easy that is. So this 1 light strip will be provided. We'll have others available if you want to add a second light, which in addition to the back side here, we have a location on the front in which you can also adhere a light just as easily and have 2 lights in here if you prefer. Honestly, 1 is plenty for just operating here at night. So you have your dimmable light switch here, your on off, and your USB plug-in. So we'll jump into the top of the tent here. Notice this zipper hanging down. This is your stovepipe. If you need to use this stovepipe for cooking, for ventilation, or if you need to use it for heat, it's available here. So this basically just unzips. And if you have the rain fly on, you'll have to take that cover off. And then additionally, there's another flap on the outside of the tent in which you can Velcro off to get out of the way to be able to put your pipe through. If you need to roll this up so that it's not hanging down, material laying down all the way, there's another loop here just to get that tucked out of the way. All right, another thing you'll notice most likely when you open your tent for the first time is this netting will be hanging down here with these 3 hooks. And what this is storage netting for clothes or for toiletries or you name it. So you've got these 3 hooks up here to which you loop into, and then you have all this additional storage. E4XL comes with 2 storage nets, 1 on each side, so use that for whatever you need to. Again, clothes are great to put up here, just light things that you want off the ground out of the way. All right, and then another thing you'll notice is on the back 2 corners of the 4XL, there'll be these 2 hooks. And these 2 hooks are really just for whatever you need. So if you want to hang something here like a light, or if you have, say, string lights hanging in here, this is a great place to loop in. Additionally, you can use your storage netting to hold string lights if you're running string lights, hanging a lantern here if you need to hang a lantern. Really anything that you can think of. All right, another interior feature that you will see on the inside of your Hub 4XL is this bag here. This is waterproof, completely waterproof if you need to store phones in here or just anything you don't, again, if you don't want it on the ground, you want a watertight place for it for whatever reason, this is a great addition to be able to hang those things there. The last couple of features here will wrap up the inside of the Hub 4XL. The light I was mentioning earlier, if you wanted to add an additional light, there is some Velcro here to be able to add that, or interchangeably if you want to add the backlight, you can put it on the front. And we've got our front window here. Again, completely waterproof, completely watertight, not going to get rain in or anything like that. You notice this flap hanging down here. If you do want that blackout experience at night, push that up and out of the way. Velcro's on each corner and you're ready to go. For those that, want to check out the outside environment at night for whatever reason, you can just leave this open and you'll be able to see out just fine. Last but not least, we've got one product here that fits this tent like a glove. And it's one of our newer products. This is our FSR Anywhere mat. This thing fits the footprint to a T. So if you want to be able to come in and out of your tent without shoes on, have a place where no dirt is collected, things like that. When you're out in the woods or on the beach or any of those things, it's nice to just be able to have a place where you don't have dirt and sand and all that stuff kicked up. All right, guys, lastly, we're gonna close up the Hub 4XL. As you guessed, it's everything in reverse, right? So what we'll do, we'll take our tent poles out. And a lot of people ask us, can I leave the floor in the hub when I close it up? Short answer is yes. You can leave it in, although we don't recommend it. Mainly because it's always good to keep everything separate, because if you need to clean something, let it air out, it just helps organize. All right, so now that we've got our poles out, our 3 poles, we'll pull our roof down first, then we'll close our door. Again, I close the door because the size of the door really opens itself up to one of the legs potentially getting caught into this hole whenever you're opening your hub and then you're fiddling around, it's not a fun look. So I'll make sure to close this behind me after I pull my roof down. And this will just help with setup next time. And you don't have to close it all the way. I would just, zip it to your bottom corner there. So you get your roof popped down, I'll just start popping in all your walls. Again, I like to keep my walls rolled up here so that next time I set my hub up, I don't have to reach through the tri-layer wall to find my pull tab. Last wall here. Fold it over like so. We'll push everything together. Now that we've got our Hub 4XL collapsed completely, we did include a strap to be able to wrap all this together, to be able to put our hub back in our bag and not be fooling around too much with material and things like that. Just give it a bear hug here. Doesn't need to be super tight, just needs to be compacted down so you're out of the way. I like to use, you just pick a corner basically, pick an end. Again, take your end that has all your poles at one end and the material at the other. Tuck the remaining material in, and then your rain fly and your floor and your poles all can go on the end where all your poles are. Not as much material down there, so you'll have more room to be able to fit the rest of your stuff. All right, guys, well, that just about wraps it up for Hub 4 XL. Again, this tent is really superior in a number of ways. One is the size of the bag. This is perfect for, throwing in the back of your smaller SUVs, even your sedan if you have fold-down seats. This will fit in there just fine. Also for your small family of 4 or family of 3, maybe it's a family of 2 with a dog, you name it. This is really, really the perfect tent for all those things. You've got a 8-foot by 8-foot footprint once you're inside. Whether you have people set up a cot or if you're using it as a shade house on the beach, at the lake, any of those situations, this tent can really shine through. So check out Hub 4 XL if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.